Before we get to questions, we have comments by Todd Campbell, who's going to be talking to us, making a few comments about aviation fuels. Todd?
Yes, thank you, Tom, and great to be following you, Manuel. I worked closely with Manuel on the Biomass Research and Development Technical Advisory Committee when I was at USDA. A tough act to follow, but it allows me to dumb it down. I think it's always great to hear the scientists talk through maybe in the weeds, but show that there's a clear path forward. Again, my name is Todd Campbell. I run my own company, Clean Economy Works, from the Northeast Kingdom in Vermont. It's an exciting time to be alive. It's also a stressful time, as everyone knows. We're doing remote learning with our boys, and as we work hard to fend off a global pandemic and work to keep each other safe until a vaccine's deployed, the folks on this call and in our industry press on to limit the worst effects of this next impending or ongoing crisis dealing with the effects of climate change. In the Obama administration, I spent 7 years laser focused on special projects at USDA, things like our memorandum of understanding with the Department of Navy, which turned into our Farm to Fleet initiative, used things like the Defense Production Act and the Commodity Credit Corporation to move aviation and marine biofuels forward into mainstream procurement in the military spec. We also, I helped launch an initiative and worked in a whole of government effort to chart a flight path in what we called our Farm to Fly initiative while at USDA. And eventually it focused and brought together the whole of the Air Transport Association, Airlines for America now, the OEMs, the airports, civil aviation, and it worked towards providing feedstock production systems in a whole of government approach to provide feedstock production systems to support 1 billion gallons of fuel per year, an ambitious goal that didn't materialize by the end of the administration. But it was this effort that brought in high value added products, sustainable aviation fuel, and worked coordinated through the Biomass Research and Development Board, but with a whole of government approach. And I think that's the promising thing. I think as we listen to presentations today, it's a public-private partnership. The government's involved, but it's universities, it's private sector, and we work to show that that there's solutions from the land that can solve these problems, not just by through things that cost money, but really through investments in revenue positive conservation. And in my time, we use things like the ARS, the Agriculture Research Service, and Forest Service regional biomass research centers and coordinated activities, NIFA-funded coordinated agriculture projects to demonstrate regional supply chains to complete from cultivars to conversion and end use. We use things like the Biomass Crop Assistance Program and the Biorefinery Assistance Program, those Good Farm Bill Title IX programs, which we'll look to renew soon. But we went from commercially available fuel, which had been a few years away for a decade, to small quantities of sustainable aviation fuel being used and continue to be used every single day in the United States. We need more, but we should recognize all the progress that's been made. And there's multiple conversion processes that have expanded our knowledge base and brought these promising feedstocks and cultivars and improved supply chain logistics to work. Standardized approaches, cookie cutter, things that we brought from the lab and we demonstrated and we optimized. It's working. One of those processes is pyrolysis oil. I'll disagree with you for a second, Manuel, because we at USDA, when oil prices dropped from $120 a barrel to $40 a barrel, our mission when I was serving as senior advisor and chief of staff in the Rural Development Mission Area, we still strove to create economic development around utilization of renewable industrial feedstocks. more so creating a floor for the market and understanding the importance of transitions to renewable chemicals and bio-based products that could keep these sometimes production systems that took 2, 3, 4 years to establish perennial cropping systems to create a floor price for biomass. I know unmerchantable timber is being discussed in some of these efforts. I'm in rural Vermont. We're lucky if we can get, $10 a ton for the landowner to harvest softwood, maybe $20 for hardwood chips.
2 minutes, Todd. 2
say
minutes.
it again.
2 minutes.
Okay, great. We need to focus on creating market demand, and that's the exciting thing as we look with the Biden administration set to rejoin the Paris Accord on day one, working towards net zero energy by 2035. We saw rare bipartisan efforts like the Growing Climate Solutions Act that you had Senator Braun, White House, and Stabenow come together to really chart a path for farmers and foresters to be able to invest in these technologies and practices to sequester carbon and to push forward. So with all of this, I just want to stay the course, stay focused. The pieces of the puzzle that people are presenting today, they do fit together in an integrated form, and in driving market utilization is near, and we need to work together to deploy this. Again, the great thing about these efforts and the as I listen to these presentations and the projects that I work on a day-to-day basis is again, it doesn't have to be additional taxes. It doesn't have to be limiting services. We can move this economy forward, and it's more important as we build back better from this devastating labor crisis coming from COVID-19 to look and to deploy these solutions that are going to help us invest in technologies of tomorrow to create jobs and wealth in rural America. And biochar is a piece of that. Well, the wheels, these not just through offset markets, but in direct project utilization of thermochemical conversion. You guys hold the solutions in your hand, and I applaud you. I'm glad to be able to join this presentation. I'm happy to take any questions, and I look forward to the rest of the presentation. Thank you, Todd.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Todd. Really appreciate your comments. Great context.